Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey,
and we are the
Markout movie podcasters.
And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about 2012's Avengers. Finally, the gang, assembles and
Yep.
get down to the nitty and the gritty. Um,
Nitty and the Britty.
yeah, I said gritty, not pretty. What'd you say?
I said Britty.
That's not a thing, Brandon.
It's a new thing.
It's not a new thing, but usually we'll try to do like what did we see. I hadn't seen Batman yet. I was planning on seeing it tonight. I don't know if I will.
Go see it.
Did you see it already?
No. No, I'm not that excited about it.
Oh.
It's Batman. So I'm not just, I don't like Batman all that much.
Oh.
I know. But I think Robert Pattinson's going to do great. I think. I've heard good things. So, it's got like 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, I think. Or maybe close to 90. It's like the second highest rated Batman movie.
Okay. Yeah, I plan on watching it, definitely. But yeah, but I just want to say that I do want to say real quick before we jump into it. I did watch Hills on Stars. Finally got around to see that show, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good little show. Stephen Amell is really excellent, and obviously he's a fan of wrestling, and he worked in the business a few matches, and it feels legit. Like I thought I'd just see Arrow the whole time, but I didn't actually. I really seen him as his character, and he's really like it's really engaging. So I really enjoyed it.
Did you finally saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre as well?
Yes,
right?
Yeah, I did see Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was all right. So the kills in it was great.
You see the kills.
Yeah,
got your kills.
Yeah, the kills was great, but the movie in itself wasn't as good.
So you felt about this movie how I felt about Halloween Kills.
But yeah, I felt like it doesn't make sense that no one would go to this town to buy it. Like it's just weird. It doesn't seem like a real thing that people would do that. And
It is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise.
Yeah, but it was cool to see Leatherface again. Although, if we believe that this is the same Leatherface from like the 70-something version, he's well in his 70s. And he shouldn't be moving around that good. He's moving around like a young man. He shouldn't be doing that.
Well, Michael's still moving around pretty good.
He ain't running. Michael ain't running. He's
not running, but he's moving around.
Oh! Leatherface was running, but yeah. But no, I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay.
It passes the time.
Yeah, passes the time. Now, Fish Street. What were your thoughts?
I was gonna get to that. I only saw the first one. The opening reminded me of Scream. Which I remember you saying that. You said you felt Scream while watching it. I don't know. I thought it was decent. There's some things I really liked about it. Some things I shook my head on. The shady side, the town, the shady side, that felt more like in the Fear Street books. So that felt right. But I don't know. It was.
So you read the book?
Tried too hard, though. With this movie, I felt that it really tried too hard. I don't know. I thought it was decent after watching it.
So you did read the books, though.
Yeah, some of the kills towards the end surprised me because I knew there were sequels. I was like, well, I felt these characters were going to live and make the sequel, but they just started killing people left and right. It's like I was a little surprised by that, but I thought it was decent. It was decent.
Yeah.
But it left me wanting to see more. So then I saw the Army of the Dead and Thieves. Oh. I won't go in details. I'll just say I did not like. Zack Snyder, what are you doing? I honestly thought though this would have been more like Dawn of the Dead, in tone, and it
Right.
felt like Mad Max with zombies, and the tone was all wrong for me. But some people really like it, and some people really hate it. I'm more on the very dislike list. So I'm trying to think what else I watched. Oh, Home Team. I like that. I'm, I'm I'm giving Kevin James some
A little
love
bit more
here
love.
lately.
Okay.
But I thought it was a really good family film, and knowing it's based on a true story, and knowing that story itself, I thought they did a really good job. And of course, I saw Uncharted, which I really liked, but it's not the games. But I don't feel you can make a true adaptation of the games because they're already cinematic enough. But I had a really good time with it. I think you would enjoy it.
All right. I will love to check it out one day whenever I go back because
Yep.
this is my unofficially. Well, this is not unofficially. This is my last week of working at the movie theater, so I won't have free passes. But I'm probably gonna end up getting the Regal Unlimited. Be like Brandon, try to be like that guy for once. But
Be like,
uh, we're gonna go ahead and jump into Avengers. But I'm gonna try to show a quick uh, trailer from the movie. You can see my screen, right?
I see it.
Here we go. Uh,
You were made to be ruled. In the end, it'll be every man for himself.
What do we do?
We get ready. There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people. So when we needed them, they could fight the battles that we never could. Gentlemen, what are you prepared to do?
all right. So that was a clip from Avengers. Let me go into quick synopsis of the movie. Loki, who we came across in Thor, has returned to Earth. This is just I'm just gonna do it off the top of my head. It's because I know the movie. So Loki comes to Earth in search of the Tesseract, so that he can finally be the ruler that he feels like he should be, and rule in this case Earth. And his plan is to get the Tesseract for Thanos, but I was going to ask you a question about that later. If Loki was playing it both ways, but in this movie we have none other than let's see, we have obviously Robert Downey Jr. returning as Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. We have Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, Jeremy Renner as Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, and your favorite Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, and Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Clark Gregg as Agent Coulson, of course Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, and last but not least, we got Tom Hiddleston as Loki, one of the best villains in the MCU cinematic universe, in my opinion. So,
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. He's greatly, I think, appreciated and the most enjoyable villain in probably the last 20, 30 years. I mean, honestly, you can't help but enjoy Loki.
like him. Can't help but to like him.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help
Yeah.
it. I mean, he's just And I hate to use this. He reminds me of Shawn Michaels when he was a villain. You just couldn't help, even though if you hated him, you couldn't help but like him. I mean, he's just so cocky and arrogant. You know, Loki's like that. He's just so cocky and arrogant, and you just can't help but like him. But you mentioned Mark Ruffalo, and
Give me
I
your
actually
numbers.
forgot.
The numbers
Uh,
before you get there.
Okay. What was you gonna ask?
The numbers.
Oh, the numbers. I completely forgot about those numbers. Okay, it's got a 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. iTunes gives it a 4.6 out of 5. That's weird to see. 87% like it on Google, and it's got a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 91% audience score. So they both agree.
Certified fresh, Rotten
Yes.
Tomatoes. But get to your boy Mark Ruffalo.
I think I actually liked him in this movie. I thought he was good, and as Banner, I think I forgot how he started. And I just remember the Smart Hulk stuff they did and how he was absent during Endgame. I thought that was poor writing on their part, but his introduction here I really like. I think he's a great character in this movie in particular. Hulk steals the show in every aspect that he can steal. I mean, he just, you were just waiting for him to become the Hulk and just smash everything.
How many markout moments did you have while watching this film again?
Quite a few actually, and I paid more attention this time around. Some things they mentioned because it leads into Endgame, like with Tony Stark's character. I mean, I know he kind of sacrifices himself in this movie, but
I caught that too. Yeah.
yeah, like, and that they let you know things that were going to happen later on, and we just didn't see coming while watching the first time, and they let you know Tony's going to be the one that's going to sacrifice himself, and that kind of hit me while watching. I wanted to pause it and rewind it. It's like, just to get his expression, the being told he's selfish and he doesn't sacrifice, and I just like, and it took me right back to Endgame when he does the ultimate sacrifice. So I love the team though. I love how they start out all for themselves, and but they come together. I love that story, and I just, man, I love everybody in this movie. I also love Jeremy Renner's portrayal as Hawkeye, as being brainwashed by whatever Loki does to them, and just seeing him play a different side of Hawkeye. I love that. I mean, I loved everybody in the movie. I thought they all did something really special. What's funny to me though is the filmmaker in this movie. What's his name? Josh Whedon.
Josh Whedon.
Okay.
Josh Whedon.
Okay. How he makes a classic comic book movie here, and what he ended up doing for DC. It's like it's like he literally doomed that movie on purpose. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like he did it on purpose?
It's crazy. Well, I was thinking about that too. Like, not only that, but I was thinking about the fact that Zack Snyder, who made probably one of the best comic book films of all time, which is his cut of the Justice League.
Yeah.
But then he turned around and made such trash in the Army of the Dead or whatever those films are.
I can't argue it.
It's just like it's like you look at something like what he made with, like like the storytelling that he made. Yes, it took 4 hours or whatever, but it told the story. It was all captivating. But then he turned around and made Army of the Dead, and you want to like it, and that's the sad thing about it. You wanted to like it, but you just can't. You're like, this is so dumb. This is pointless. That's how I felt watching Army of the Dead. It's pointless. But yeah, to answer your question with Joss Whedon, I think that he made such a classic film with this, but then when he took over Justice League, his end product was not good, man. Like
No.
like the stuff they did with Wonder Woman, which is gross. With having Flashland on top of her and stuff. It just it was supposed to be for comedic relief, but if you look at the final stuff that Zack Snyder did, you can't argue that it's a better movie.
No, not at all.
Or you
Head
can't argue
and
that it's not that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You can't argue.
it's
Yeah.
Head and Shoulders better than what Whedon did. It's hard to believe that it's the same filmmaker that did the first Avengers film and ended up getting. I don't know if he actually got credit, but we know he reshot at least 80% of that movie. We know that for a fact now because we've seen both versions. It's just, it's like, it was like it's like a bipolar disease, man. It's just like, it's completely different. It's just, he snaps and it was like, I'm gonna make the worst thing I can possibly make. It's how it felt. But
Hold my beer. No.
yeah,
Yeah. Just like man. But I wanted to mention. I mentioned this earlier, and I was checking on Facebook see if we have any messages. We have literally nobody tuning into this today. I guess everybody's at the movie theater watching the Batman. But
probably.
which I can't blame them. I mean, I heard good things, but anyway. So I was going to ask you about this. Do you feel like Loki? He's trying to get to Tesseract to harness the power in order to uh, bring in the people from the other universe. It's like a doorway,
Yeah.
and he's wanting to bring the people from the other universe so that they can help him conquer the world, conquer the Earth, and so he can become the ruler of this Earth. But in using the Tesseract, he ultimately supposed to get it to Thanos?
Yeah, he's working for Thanos.
But do you feel like he was uh,
Oh, he was going to turn
double?
on Thanos.
You're gonna double cross him?
Yeah, he was, and I think that was always the plan. He was going to double cross Thanos because he doesn't. He's too smart for his own good. He really is. He thinks he's just smarter than everyone else. He really does. And
Smartest person in the room, yeah.
yeah. And I actually like the I forget the scene exactly, but they were telling somebody to read the room. Read the room. It was funny. But I just think Loki just was too smart for his own good. We all know how it ended for him before Endgame. So
Well, now I know we have other. I can bring.
Yeah, I don't
more.
know.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
About
I can't say
Loki,
that
but
yeah.
I do know how it ended for him before Endgame. And I know how it really begins with the multiverse with him because of Endgame, but I don't know what happens in that show whatsoever. I have no idea. But I will find out at some point in life.
You have Disney Plus. You have no excuse now. But you do have Disney Plus, right?
I don't technically have it, but Dawson does in his room.
So
So it's there if I want to use it.
Okay. But there is when I mentioned Markout moments. All right, there's several Markout moments. Obviously, there is the when they said we're gonna need soldiers, and you see Steve Rogers, and he's punching the bag and he's picking it up.
Yeah.
You see like Thor popping up, but I think my biggest Markout moment is when Steve Rogers said Hulk smash, and the Hulk gives that little like that smile, like yes, that's what I want to do, but I just loved, just like I kind of welled up a bit because I was like so excited for just like MCU, man. It's crazy how one series of movies have now surpassed like my fandom for like Halloween. Like I'm more of an MCU guy than I am a Halloween guy because these movies have done such a great job of telling the story. So
yeah. As far as Markout moments, the question's been, how does Banner control his anger, and that's actually one of my favorite parts of the movie. He said, "They're telling me get angry." He said, "That's the secret. I'm always angry." And then he turns into the Hulk like he's got it under control and he can snap into Hulk anytime he wants. That was a special moment for me. But the ultimate moment for me also involves the Hulk when Loki's talking to him. And he just takes him and bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, he says, I am a god. And
Yeah.
then like he grabs him, he's a puny god, and then Loki's like, he like can't move.
That's probably the most enjoyable moment in the whole film for me. There's a lot though. I mean, there's a lot to take in. I love seeing Thor and Loki converse. That's just special every time it happens. It's just you feel that. And
Joker has some heat for you.
that's right.
Gas prices are so high, Brandon can't travel. It is real. It's real.
Yeah, I saw the prices today. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
I paid rents and my electric bill. And I was like, whew.
oh no, but there is. I did want to mention. So one big thing I always didn't like about the movie, but now going back and watching it again, I understand it and I'm okay with it. Even now, knowing that he's no longer a part of the MCU at all, which is Phil Coulson. I enjoyed Phil Coulson, but his death was necessary in order to bring the Avengers together. And at first, I really didn't like that, because I like Phil Coulson. I like Agent Coulson. But and then I was like, well, we have him in the show, but now I know that show has essentially been retconned, and he's not in existence at all. And so, but his death was necessary. You can't kill Fury. You can't kill no one else would have the impact that Phil Coulson would. So his death was necessary. Who just came in my house? Oh, my wife. Okay. The dog went out. I was like, what in the world? But
yeah, you got a soft spot for Phil. I actually love that line. Phil, when did he become Phil?
Yeah.
he's Agent Coulson.
Joker TV says I heard the new Batman movie is trash. I haven't watched it.
I haven't heard that at all.
Yeah,
you literally are the first person I've heard say it wasn't good.
Yeah,
I've heard the ending is questionable, but overall the movie experience is the ultimate Batman detective movie, is what I've heard through most people. So
yeah, I'm gonna still see it. I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'll see it too, but it's just not something like I'm pumped up to see. It made your top most anticipated films. I did not mind, but you're a Batman guy, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm more of a Superman guy, but yeah, I like Joker.
See,
but
if Joker was there, I'd be there.
Yeah.
Instantly.
But
he's been there enough.
But I like Robert Pattinson, so I think that
yeah,
he's enough to kind of get me in there to see how he does. So yeah,
I think you'll enjoy it.
And yes, I'm not ashamed to say I like him. I like Robert. I think people need to get over the whole Twilight stuff, man.
Just he did Twilight?
Yes. Oh, you was playing. You being serious. Okay. But I thought you was being serious.
I mean, that was so 10 years ago or 12 years ago, or wherever it was.
I think it's over 20 years ago now at this point.
Is it 20? It probably is.
I'm pretty sure. It came out like 2003 or something like that, or maybe 2007. I feel like, I don't know.
That's a 4-year gap there, Aaron.
I don't know timelines. Let's see. Twilight. Oh, I don't know why we're looking at this stupid movie. All right. Not Avengers.
He just said he liked.
2000. No, I'm saying 2008. 2008.
I mean, 16. Well, hang on. 14 years ago.
Yeah, 14 years. So almost 15 years. But anyway, Avengers, nonetheless, was a great movie. So Thor, we have Thor in there. We have a new Bruce Banner, which looking like, I agree with you. I did like him. I like Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk. Now, it would have been different, obviously, if it was Edward Norton. It would have been a totally different feel. But I think Mark Ruffalo is a little bit more sensitive, like more like more. He can draw you in a little bit more than I'd say Edward Norton would. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, not really.
compassion, compassion. Like Edward Norton seems like you wouldn't want to get close to Edward Norton. Like he
I
might
mean,
punch
no,
you
he
in the
would.
face.
He's that dude's got range.
Yeah,
Could be a psycho. No, I know what you're saying. I just they felt like two different Hulks, though. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they played Banner completely different, in my opinion.
yeah.
But so you said this when we reviewed the Incredible Hulk that it felt like this version of him didn't exist in the MCU,
Mm.
which makes sense if the rumors are true and Edward Norton returns. He's rumored. I don't know.
Well,
You never know, but it would make
they
sense. That's different Hulk.
they did make reference though to the Incredible Hulk film. He says last time I was in New York, I destroyed Harlem.
Yeah, he did say
And
that. Right.
so it makes then it canon what happened with
Yeah.
Edward Norton Hulk.
Yeah, I would
So
say it's still canon. I don't think they would ignore that movie, especially when they brought what is his name?
uh
Bonham.
yeah, I know that dude.
That dude. They brought him back.
Yeah,
Saying
yeah.
he's supposed to be in She-Hulk. So I mean, he's had a long run, almost as long as the others,
Mhm.
like Hemsworth, Loki, Thor and Loki, and he's had a long run, and I really do think his run's about to end.
Hey, what do you think about the scene where before Bruce Banner goes all hulky, and they're just having that argument, and he reaches and grabs the scepter, but like the way the camera works and was going between them, and
Yeah,
and it flips upside down. And it shows that they are being controlled by the scepter. Uh, because obviously, like you mentioned before, that Loki is always playing the long game.
yeah.
He's not. He's never like nothing. He's nothing is on an accident. Like if you capture Loki, it's not. It's because he wants to be captured. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
And I think that's very similar to the Dark Knight when the Joker got captured. He wanted to. He was playing the long game, as you said. Yeah, he was very in sync in this whole movie. Like he knew what they would do every shape of the way. I mean, he knew their movements. He figured them out, and obviously he knew what Thor would do because he knows how to push Thor. He knows how to push those buttons.
Mm.
So and he does. But I thought he did. He was very smart. I love that he's changed Hawkeye. That was the one that he wanted to get on his side. And not go for like Nick Fury. See, I would have thought he would, get the guy in charge to work with you. But it was interesting how they really brought in Hawkeye because
Mhm.
in Thor he was just had like a minute of screen time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really liked it. I liked them all. I mean, but Natasha was I felt more compelling this time around. What do you think about her overall?
Actually, I wanted to mention that because I enjoyed the scene where she. So when Bruce smacks the table, and tries to get a reaction from her, but the reaction that he got from her was it triggered like a past trauma with her, and
Yeah,
she the way she held the gun and the look in her face was like she was totally somewhere else, and that's just a credit to her as an actress. She just was able to be
yeah,
be somewhere else, not be in the room with Mark Ruffalo, but she literally was looking past him into a different time in Natasha's life. And I love that. It's very eerie. It kind of sent chills down my back a bit because when I was like, man, that's powerful. You know,
you
yeah.
know, and watching this movie and seeing the connection between her and Hawkeye, if it'd been me, Marvel Studios, I'm not Paul Feig or Feig, whatever his name is.
Feige.
I'm not him at all. But if it'd been me, this is what the next movie, my lineup would have been a prequel showing how they actually met Hawkeye and Black Widow. That
Well,
is the origin story she deserved.
see the Budapest stuff.
Yeah. That I really believe that was the origin story she really deserved. Both of them, and I would have loved to have seen it. I mean, you still can. I haven't seen Hawkeye. I don't know. I know she has signed something that she's coming back, and I have to assume it's prequel stuff. I mean, she's dead, so unless they're raising her from the dead,
They can.
but you never know. I mean, you don't know what they're gonna do. But I would love to see like a prequel of some sorts of them meeting. I really feel that's the story they should have went with when they did an origin story of her. But I don't know. I really love their bond, though. I've loved it since the Avengers. It's one of the more special bonds in the MCU, I believe.
I think that the reason why they went the way they went with Black Widow, though, is because to give us my girl. Man, why am I blanking on her name right now? I'm having her face in my brain. I just can't think.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of her name at the moment either. Yeah,
anyway,
that is definitely the reason why they made that movie.
I mean, and now she is like for all intents and purposes, she is black. She is the new Black Widow. I mean, sorta, she. But yeah. But yeah, anyway. But let's get back to this. My granddaughter's calling me. I don't know what she wants. But anyway.
I'm going to ignore the granddaughter.
No. What'd you say? Oh, she's gonna come in anyway. What's up, baby? What is it you need? All right. Anyway.
Good old family time.
Yeah. So let's see. I lost my train of thought.
Okay,
So,
while you're regaining that thought, we'll ask you this: what did you think of the interaction in the beginning with Iron Man and Captain America?
Oh, I thought it made sense because Iron Man 2, him and Loki is very similar. Similar characters in the sense of both of them are very much think that they know everything, that they are the most compelling person in the room. Yeah. And so you meet Steve Rogers, who really wants to take him down a peg or two. He really because he keeps saying, yeah, but Steve Rogers also he could literally hit him and knock his head off if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't. He says put the suit on because at the end of the day, he's still trying to protect humanity. He's not trying to. He's not trying.
They were also setting that up. Iron Man versus Captain America, which we get later in Civil War. They were setting up so much in this first Avengers movie.
I love the put the suit on. It didn't like that fight. They bickering, put the suit on. And then when they got attacked, he's like, put the suit on. He's like, yeah. And then he goes to put the suit on. But yeah, I love that. They but like you said, this movie does so well with planting little seeds along the way that come back. That as you said with even with Loki, if you think about it, because there's that moment where Thor is like, we can do it together, brother. Let's we can stop this together. And you see in the moment he considered it, but then he stabbed him. But
Loki's gotta be Loki.
And then Loki, I love when Hawkeye threw the arrow, and then he caught it, and Loki's thinking puny human or whatever, and then it exploded and it caused him to fall. He always thought that he's one step ahead of him, but and like you said, I kind of was more invested in Hawkeye this time around because now I kind of like him. At first, when I first saw this, I was like, I don't know who Hawkeye is, and so I'm like, I'm here for Captain America, or I'm here for Iron Man, or Thor, or everybody but him. But now I see, he is an Avenger. He is just as much a part of the Avengers as everybody else. Same as Black Widow. They're all a part of
Yeah,
the same group. So,
it's just they weren't as known. And I don't mean actors wise, I just mean character wise, they weren't as known
mm,
to to the masses. But yeah, I love Hawkeye. I always have. I mean, when I saw Jeremy Renner in this originally, I got excited. I'm a big fan of his. Been a big fan since he played Dahmer. So I
oh,
love.
really?
Yeah, I love the guy. He's fantastic. He just is. But I can't think of his name. The doctor that he also gets to work with him.
Um,
I
Bill
forgot
Skarsgård's dad. I mean,
yeah,
Skarsgård's dad. Not his
yeah,
name, Bill Skarsgård to play Pennywise.
yeah. It's Bill. It's maybe
His
Peter.
Yeah, his father.
Yeah,
Those are some talented brothers,
scientist from
talented
Deep Blue
family.
Sea.
He is the scientist from Deep Blue
Yeah.
Sea. Oh wow, yeah.
I forgot he was in the movie. I love him in this movie as well. I just love watching him perform though. He's
Uh,
like,
he's on HBO's Chernobyl. He's excellent in that show.
oh, is he?
It's a short mini show, but he's so good in that show. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really he's like I would say he's on a level of like a Patrick Stewart. Like you hear him talk, you're in. I don't care what kind of subject matter it is. You're just concentrated on his words. He grabs you from the opening, and he's just one of those actors that can do that. And I just love watching him, and I thought he was great in this. Um, I'm glad the two girls weren't with him when we see him with Nick Fury, and because it would have made sense.
Stellan Skarsgård.
I was just, who's Peter? Maybe
Uh,
Peter's the other son. He
Peter's
has like
not
2 or 3 kids.
Peter's not related to those. That's a different set of Skarsgård. But
What difference
it's
is
Stellan, Bill Skarsgård, and then Alexander Skarsgård. It's the
Alexander.
other.
Okay,
Yeah. So
he's from True Blood, right?
yeah, he's from True Blood. Yeah.
Sad that
Talented family. Talented family though, man.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
it's pretty talented. Um, so your girl's in this movie. I think you like her. The girl from
How I
How I
Met
Met
Your
Your Mother.
Mother. Yeah, absolutely. I do like her. But yeah, she's
I
uh
forgot she was in this franchise.
yeah, she's totally in this movie. She and and later on she becomes a little bit more, but that's what I was saying as far as people that they could kill, it had to be uh Agent Coulson because nobody would care that she died. You know what I'm saying? No,
No,
nobody. It wouldn't have the impact as Coulson. Coulson was like the heart of the Avengers. Like as far as like he had a spirit
he
and
was the heart of setting them up.
it set him up. Yeah, like he was more connective in all the previous films than Nick Fury actually was. Um, so we
And he
got
can't kill Nick.
uh
Hey, Fuzz.
hey, what's up, Fuzz? Um, but yeah, absolutely loved him. But I understand that he he died, you know, but it's for the best. And now obviously there's multiverse now, so we could always see Coulson again somewhere. But I mean it's wide open, man. It's so wide open. But
Do you think it's
uh
too wide open? Like,
no. I mean, like the fact that we started to see the Sonyverse people into the MCU, or a connective Sonyverse now, I guess, because technically, like Spider-Man: No Way Home was like perfect marriage between Sony and Marvel, you know, and but it just opens it up to now see all that, which I'm for it. I'm all for it. So, um, but yeah, I was gonna mention to you. Uh, so, uh, do you feel that the way that at the end credit scene is Thanos? Um,
yeah.
you know, obviously what we see of Thanos now is very different than what we see Thanos looking like at the towards the end of this Infinity War and the End Game.
Yeah.
Um, do you think that they changed for the I guess for the best and like it doesn't seem like in here it made it seem like he was doing it to court death, which is in the comic books he's doing all this to get the attention of death and so he can kind of hook up with her. But but in reality, like what we find out is just he just feels like he knows what's right for everything, right?
Yeah. He's playing God, essentially. Um, as far as do I like him? Do I like to look better in here or in game and
Later.
Infinity War? I would have to say Infinity War and Endgame, because you don't get enough of a look here. And I had no idea who he was when this happened. I was like, I don't know who this guy is. He looks scary. He looks like a big baddie, but I don't know who he was. I
How
just
was
didn't
it?
know.
How was it for you then going back now, knowing who he is? How'd you feel about seeing him again?
It got me excited and scared because I know what's gonna happen, and I just will not be ready to say goodbye to really two, well, more than two, but when it comes to Iron Man and Captain America, I mean, with Rogers or Stark, um, it's gonna be hard to say goodbye to those characters. And we're watching these movies again, though. It's, I mean, I miss them. You know, I miss Chris Evans as Captain America. I miss Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. But one of the surprises in this movie was there was no Rhodey, at all.
Well, yeah, it's true.
I
There's
was
no mention of Rhodey. You know who I missed in this movie, thinking about it when watching this, is like I was watching this movie and I was thinking, man, I wish Anthony Mackie was here. I don't know, it's so random, but I was thinking I wish Anthony Mackie was here. Who of
yeah,
course is Falcon, who becomes Falcon. But I know that we get him in the next Captain America film, but
yeah.
I just I so wanted him there
It made
now.
sense though because Steve at this point was still isolated and didn't really know anyone.
Yeah.
He really this was his real first time getting out in the world again because he's just been stuck there, and so it made sense. There was no Valken. But I do look forward to seeing Anthony Mackie again, and I mean, I look forward to everything that's coming, even the films that I don't think's all that good,
Now,
like Iron Man 3 and Dark World of Thor. I look forward to seeing these films again. I may feel disappointed again, but at this moment, I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
did we not get a cameo by um why am I blanking on people's names? Jeez. Stan Lee.
Yeah,
Did we not get it?
he's at the end with a bunch of people. I think he's like reading a newspaper or something.
Oh, okay.
Pops up. I remember seeing him at the end.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like,
When they save the world and everything.
yeah. Okay.
Also, what's his name? I'm
Tony
blanking on
Stark.
people too. He's like one of the people Nick Fury's talking to, though. He's an older
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
I can't think of his name. He was in
Is he an
Sudden Death.
agent?
He might be part Asian. I'm
No,
not.
no, I didn't say agent. I said agent.
No, he's like works with the government or something.
Oh, I
Powers
thought.
Booth.
Oh, yeah. I think I know. What
I
you're talking
forgot
about.
he was part of this.
Yeah. You know who I noticed too, just in watching this movie. So there's a Shield agent who's working on one of the monitors on the Shield hub, who I know that he's Hydra, because like he's the same dude that Steve Rogers said Hell Hydra to in the elevator or something like that. You remember?
I
Like
remember that scene.
initially they fought or whatever, but he was I think he was the guy that he said Hell Hydra to. But I think that he is actually a Hydra operative, Uh
I
yeah,
think I know what
but
you're talking about. He's
he's
actually
like
in a tunnel.
a bald head dude, right? He's a
Oh, okay. He's not
bald head
bald
black
headed.
dude.
The guy I'm talking about has like a headset on. He has one scene. He's actually in Shades of Blue, the show I'm currently watching. After Eternal,
Oh,
the MCU is dead to me. But why,
um,
Fuzz?
yeah, I'm
Why is it
curious.
dead?
Oh, stop calling people bad names, Fuzz. But but yeah, that's a good question. Why is it dead to you? And I'm gonna kind of because we have 49 minutes left on my battery, so I don't want it to go off on us. But real quick, why is the MCU dead to you after Eternals? Are you saying because the Eternals was so bad that the MCU is now dead to you, or after the Eternals, that's it for you? MCU is now dead. It could
He
lead the way.
responded.
Uh, Eternals is boring and silly. Yeah, but it doesn't make the MCU dead for me.
I
It
actually
just,
have to disagree. It wasn't the most entertaining movie, but I wasn't bored
I
with
mean,
it.
I'm curious to see where they go with it. I'd love to see uh Icarus
Yes.
somehow. I'm curious to see. I think that they made some really interesting characters. They don't work as a unit. There's no need for all of them. I don't think. Maybe a few of them will stick around, but I don't think there's a need for them all. Like we already have a big group with the Avengers. We don't. Well, now I don't know what the new Avengers look like. I say Shang-Chi, um, whoever Black Panther would be, whatever they do with that. I say Falcon. I see Winter Soldier. No, no, I don't know what the Avengers will look like now. Spider Man, he would probably be as Brandon has said, he's probably going to be the Tony Stark of the bunch, if like the leader. Icarus had mental problems and mommy issues. Well, jeez,
Be as it may, he was still the most entertaining part of that movie.
I love it. Be as it may, but but and if you're watching this, so if you listen to us and you hear us just start talking a random thing, it's because somebody commenting and we're reading the comment. We should actually say, "Here's a comment from Fuzz Aldrin." In that case, who's all right. Anyway, are
Sound
you
like
hearing this?
I'm hearing it. Yeah, it
It's my
sounds like
granddaughter playing with her. I don't know, doing the thing with her lips. I have no idea. But anyway, um, so let's. What else can we mention? Did I miss anything? So they fought, and Death had to unite them. Um, and then Iron Man kept saying, "Well, let me know when Banner shows up." I guess he knew that Banner was going to show up. I love how he grabbed that big old thing and just like stopped it in his tracks, and you know,
yeah.
um,
It, I also love that we alluded to it earlier that Tony Stark is going to sacrifice himself here in this movie and at the end. I love when he's falling. He's falling back to Earth, and they're like, "Oh, he's falling. He's not. He has no control. He's not slowing down." And Hulk just grabs him.
well, Thor. You see Thor starting
Yeah, Thor's getting ready
to jump up to grab him,
yeah,
but yeah,
but
the Hulk.
Hulk just came out of nowhere, and
And
that
then
was
he
fitting though.
but then he just took him, just kind of threw him onto the ground.
Yeah.
But then Hulk restarted his heart by like screaming at him. It startled him back to life. But oh wow, I mean, if you think about it though, we that's not the last. Obviously, we know that's not the last time we see him laying out like that. But it's kind of a theme with the Avenger films though, that he is somewhere left almost for dead. Until like he does in fact die. So
They're teasing it and teasing it. It's going to happen, and I think they're easing it into our brains. Okay, at some point, Iron Man is going to die, and I feel like they were trying to ease that pain, but there is no easing the pain when you first see it. I mean, it's just like it was heartbreaking.
yeah,
It really was.
it's
So
a
when we
shift.
get to that moment, oh man,
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. but you know,
But it's a great journey to get there.
yeah, absolutely it's the best uh character development out of,
I
in
have
the
to
whole
say
MCU.
this. I'm not like I don't get super excited for these movies like until I watch them. Then it comes. But like leading up to it, I'm not super excited about them.
Like
But I have to say
the
this.
week leading up to it, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that these are the best cinematic experiences I've ever experienced on the big screen. Like overall,
I
the
agree.
journey itself, I've never experienced anything like it. And I know there was Star Wars in the '70s and the Indiana Jones or the Batman films or whatever, the Jurassic Park saga. But there's nothing been quite like the MCU experience. It's they've created something really special for people. And I seen a
Yeah.
quote the other day that it was like it's like Star Wars, but for today. And I think it's bigger, so much bigger than Star Wars.
I would say that too. I know that people will probably hate on that. I mean, I'm a Star Wars mark as well, but I can honestly say I'm more of a Marvel guy. Like if I literally said I'm more of a Marvel guy than Halloween, and you know how big of a mark I am for Halloween,
Yeah.
it's just like, and they're not. That's like apples to oranges. But I would say a better comparison would be Star Wars, because it's like Star Wars is such a um, engaging product, like show series or franchise that kind of pulls you in. But Marvel is just like it's like for new generation. So whereas growing up in like I was born being in 1980 or whatever, I remember seeing some of the Star Wars stuff, but not really understanding it because I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was saying R2D2 and C3PO and a Yoda and all that stuff, but I'm not really understanding it. But here, I was able to be along for the whole journey, you know, and yeah, you're right. So being along for the whole journey it just makes a big difference for you.
Yeah, it's also never nothing else like it. This long of a journey. I mean, nothing's you can't compare anything to it. 20 plus film. What I mean, Bond maybe, but
See,
that's different.
Joker. There's a opposing opinion right there. Fuzz Aldrin says the best movie theater experience was the new Batman. The audience cheered and clapped. It was wild. Yeah, I imagine so. But um, I mean, yeah. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get to our marks because I'm running out of battery, and I don't want this to die on us. But anyway,
All right.
anything else you want to mention before we bring it to a close?
Uh, just that I'm really looking forward to Iron Man 3. Even though I know I haven't exactly loved the experience, but going back and watching this, leading up to this, I'm looking forward to every film that's coming.
Not so much Dark World, but yeah.
I actually
Uh,
am. I'm looking forward to going back to Asgard. I really am. I know I
well,
didn't like it, but I'm looking forward to going back.
I can't wait to give it another chance, and maybe it'll be different for me this time around. But I am looking forward to Iron Man 3. I love that we're getting closer and closer to like um, my group, the Guardians. So I'm
It's
just
coming
so
soon.
I'm getting excited about that. I'm excited to see Civil War, which is probably the best of the like it's arguably the best film out of all. Oh no, it's arguably that. I mean, because it's such a great
Civil
movie.
War or Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. But then Civil War in itself, Winter Soldier is great. But Civil War and Winter Soldier, like just like
I mean, it's special because
they're top 10. They're top 10 in the whole
yeah,
Marvel.
Civil War is special anyway because it's the debut of Black Panther. It's the debut of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, it's the first time Ant-Man is in a like
He
like an
becomes a giant man. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was a special movie, and plus you get the fight scenes between Iron Man and Cap. I mean,
Iron Man 3 features 30 Iron Man suits.
they were selling toys, Fuzz. They were selling toys.
But all right, Marks. I think it's no surprise. 5 markouts from me. I assume it's for you too.
Yeah, 5. This was easily the best Marvel movie to date. Like Avengers was special. Bringing these characters together was special. I mean, everything led up to it was special. It was they were doing something very special that I don't think I have ever seen before.
And it led to other people like saying, "Hey, let us do this." So it can be done. Let us also do this, and then but DC obviously failing in doing so. But other people tried to.
Yeah, it let the DC try to do it. The Universal Monsters attempted.
Star Wars tried it in the sense of later, but I mean, yes, they kind of accomplished some of it, but it, yeah,
It's
but
working now, I would say, for them for as in TV shows.
mhm.
Most people seem to really enjoy that. I
Yeah,
haven't
I haven't
seen
seen
any, but
Bubba. I haven't seen the Book of Boba Fett, but yeah, yeah,
I don't hear bad stuff.
I've never heard nothing bad about it. Yeah, so, but yeah, 5 for us. Next week we have Iron Man 3, and then after that we go into Thor: Dark World, and
Yeah, I think so.
then Cap's back, right?
Yeah, I believe so, and I think it's going to be Guardians, and then Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Well, until then, Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey.
we thank you for marking out with us here at the Markout Movie Podcast. Peace.